Picture this. You and I standing on the deck of a starship, not some rusty boat bobbing on the Pacific, but a sleek silver vessel piercing through the void of space, 240,000 miles above Earth, staring down at that pale blue dot we call home. Or maybe we're on a ship slicing through the Atlantic, the wind whipping through your hair, the horizon stretching out like it's daring us to chase it. I don't just want to take my future wife on a vacation. I want to take her to places that make your heart race, places that make you question everything you thought you knew about the world, about yourself, about us. Are you ready to step into the unknown with me? To chase horizons where we don't just see the world, but redefine what it means to live? This isn't about checking boxes on a travel itinerary. This is about building a love story so epic it could outshine the stars. I've always believed life is a frontier, a wild, untamed expanse that begs to be explored. And I don't mean explored in some safe, air conditioned tour bus kind of way. I mean, relentless, fearless exploration, the kind that pushes every limit you thought you had. With my future wife, I want to start somewhere that screams ambition, somewhere that says we're not just here to exist, but to conquer. That place? Mars. Yeah, you heard me, Mars. The red planet, 140 million miles from Earth, where the air is thin, the ground is rust red, and the stakes are as high as it gets. You might think I'm nuts, but hear me out. I've spent my life turning crazy ideas into reality electric cars that outrun gas guzzlers, rockets that land themselves, tunnels that defy traffic. Why shouldn't love be just as bold? I see us standing on Mars in spacesuits that hum with life support systems, holding hands under a sky that's alien and raw, looking at a horizon that no one else has ever claimed. That's where our story begins. Mars isn't just a destination, it's a symbol. It's about dreaming so big that the universe itself feels small. I want the woman by my side to be someone who doesn't flinch when I say, let's go to Mars. Someone who looks at me with that spark in her eyes and says, hell yeah, let's do it. Because that's what this is about. Finding a partner who's not afraid to ask, why not? And then run headfirst into the answer. On Mars, we'll face challenges that make Earth's problems look like a walk in the park. The temperature can drop to minus 200 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no air to breathe, no corner store to grab a snack. But that's the point. We'll learn to rely on each other in ways most couples never will. We'll troubleshoot life support systems, navigate alien terrain, and laugh when the dust storms try to scare us off. Every moment on that planet will be a testament to what we're capable of together. But let's be real, this isn't just about Mars. It's about a mindset. It's about waking up every day and saying, what's next? What's the next impossible thing we can make possible? I want you, the woman listening right now, to feel that fire in your gut. I want you to imagine a life where you don't settle for ordinary, where you don't let fear or doubt call the shots. You're not just a passenger in this life, you're a co-pilot, a co-conspirator in the greatest adventure ever, and Mars is just the warm-up. From there, we'll explore every corner of this universe, from the edge of the solar system to the smallest forgotten towns on Earth. Each step will make us stronger, sharper, closer. Think about it. What kind of partner do you want? Someone who's happy with a 9 to 5 and a Netflix subscription, or someone who looks at the stars and says, let's go there? I know my answer. I want a woman who's as restless as I am, who sees the world as a puzzle to solve, a canvas to paint, a rocket to launch. On Mars, we'll build more than just footprints in the red dirt. We'll build trust, resilience, a bond that no distance can break. We'll stand there 140 million miles from home and know that home isn't a place, it's us, together, facing the unknown. Now, let's zoom out for a second. This dream of mine isn't just about space travel, it's about how we live every single day. Exploration isn't about how far you go, it's about how deeply you dive into the moment. You don't need a spaceship to feel alive. Sometimes it's about driving 50 miles down a dusty road to nowhere just because you're curious what's around the next bend. Sometimes it's about waking up at 4 a.m. to catch a sunrise over a mountain, even if you're half asleep and grumpy. With my future wife, I want every day to feel like a mission. Maybe we're debugging a problem in a Neuralink prototype one day, and the next, we're hiking a trail nobody's touched in years. The point is, we're always moving, always pushing, always discovering. I know what you're thinking. Elon, Mars sounds cool, but what if I'm not ready for that? Let me tell you something, nobody's ever ready. I wasn't ready when I started SpaceX. I wasn't ready when we launched the first Falcon one, and it blew up 3 times before we got it right. But I did it anyway, because the only way to grow is to jump in, mess up, and keep going. That's what I want for us. I want a woman who's not afraid to fail, who's okay with getting a little lost, because that's where the real magic happens. On Mars, we might miscalculate a navigation path or trip over a crater. So what? We'll laugh, dust ourselves off, and keep moving. Those missteps, they're not failures, they're stories, the kind we'll tell our grandkids someday. To every woman out there, you have that strength inside you. You don't need to be a rocket scientist or a billionaire to live like this. All you need is a spark, a little voice that says, I want more. I want to find the woman who hears that voice and acts on it, who looks at the world, whether it's a city block or a distant planet, and sees possibility. Because that's what love is to me. It's not about comfort zones or playing it safe. It's about finding someone who will jump into the abyss with you, knowing you'll figure it out together. Let's talk about what this journey looks like. On Mars, we won't just be tourists. We'll be pioneers. We'll set up a small habitat, maybe one of SpaceX's prototype domes, and spend our days exploring, collecting samples, maybe even planting the seeds for a future colony. But more than that, we'll be building something intangible, a foundation for our life together. Every challenge we face, from fixing a broken oxygen filter to navigating a 300-mile trek across the Valles Marineris, will teach us how to lean on each other. You'll see me at my worst, tired, frustrated, maybe cursing at a malfunctioning rover, and I'll see you at yours, and that's when we'll know we're real. Because love isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up, even when it's hard. I want you to imagine this. We're sitting in that habitat at night, the Martian sky glittering through a reinforced window, and we're talking about everything, our dreams, our fears, the crazy ideas we want to chase next. Maybe we're planning a trip to Jupiter's moons, or joking about building a Tesla factory on Mars. Those moments, those quiet, honest conversations, are what will make this adventure ours. They're what will make us unstoppable. I don't care if we're on Mars or in a tiny diner in the middle of nowhere. What matters is that we're in it together, pushing each other to be bolder, braver, better. So, to the woman who will stand by my side, this is my promise to you. I'll take you to places that scare us both, places that make us question everything. Mars is just the start. From there, we'll go to the ends of the earth and beyond, not because we have to, but because we can. Because that's who we are, two people who refuse to settle, who see the world as a challenge and a gift. I want you to feel that rush, that electric pulse of knowing you're alive, that you're part of something bigger, and I want to feel it with you. Are you in? Because I'm ready to launch this rocket, and I need you in the co-pilot seat. This is just the beginning. From Mars, we'll come back to Earth, but we won't slow down. We'll face ice storms in Antarctica, get lost in the Amazon, and wander the neon-lit streets of Tokyo. Each place will teach us something new about the world, about ourselves, about us. But right now, let's focus on that first step. Mars is waiting, the universe is waiting, and I'm waiting for you, the woman who's ready to write this story with me. One crazy, beautiful adventure at a time. Let's make history. All right, we've stood on the red dust of Mars, felt the thrill of a place no one else has claimed, and stared into a sky that dares us to dream bigger. But now, let's bring it back to Earth, not to some sunny beach or bustling city, but to the raw, untamed edge of the world, Antarctica. This is no tropical getaway. This is a place where the wind howls at 100 miles an hour, where the temperature can plummet to minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, where every step feels like a battle against nature itself. Are you ready to stand with me in the middle of a blizzard, to feel the ice sting our faces, and know that our love can burn brighter than any storm? Because that's what I want for us, to forge something unbreakable in the harshest place on Earth. Antarctica isn't just a destination, it's a test. It's where we'll strip away the noise of the world, cell phones, deadlines, distractions, and face the truth of who we are together. I see us bundled in layers of thermal gear, trudging across a glacier under a sky so clear it's like looking into infinity. The air is so cold it bites, but we're laughing, our breath forming clouds, because we're here, together, doing something most people would never dare. To every woman listening, you have that kind of courage inside you. You don't need to be a scientist or an explorer to face the unknown. You just need a spark, a willingness to say, I'm in, and a partner who believes you're unstoppable. That's who I want by my side, a woman who looks at a frozen wasteland and sees adventure, not fear. Why Antarctica? Because it's real. It's not a curated Instagram moment or a cushy resort. It's a place that forces you to be present, to rely on each other in ways you can't fake. I've built companies that push boundaries, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, and I know that the best things in life come from tackling the hardest challenges. In Antarctica, we'll face those challenges head on. Maybe it's setting up a research tent in 50-mile-an-hour winds or navigating a crevasse field where one wrong step could mean disaster. We'll have to trust each other completely. Trust that you'll check the ropes, that I'll double check the heater, that we'll keep each other warm when the cold feels like it's winning. Those moments when we're fighting the elements together will build a bond stronger than any rocket I've ever launched. But this isn't just about survival, it's about discovery. Antarctica is a living laboratory, a place where scientists study climate change, where every ice core tells a story of Earth's past. I want us to be part of that. Maybe we're assisting a research team drilling into the ice to pull up samples that could unlock secrets about our planet's future. Or maybe we're just standing there awestruck, watching the aurora australis paint the sky with greens and purples, feeling like we're the only two people in the world. To the women out there, this is what I mean when I talk about adventure. It's not just about going somewhere, it's about doing something that matters, something that pushes you to grow, something that makes you feel alive. You're not just my partner in this, you're my co-conspirator in making a dent in the universe. Let's talk about what this looks like. We're not just tourists in Antarctica, we're explorers living in a modular base camp, maybe one designed by my team at SpaceX to test tech for Mars. We'll wake up to the sound of wind rattling the walls, brew coffee over a portable stove, and plan our day like it's a mission. Maybe we're trekking 10 miles across the ice to reach a research station, or maybe we're snowmobiling to a spot where penguins waddle in perfect chaos. Every step is a chance to learn something new about the world, about ourselves, about how we work as a team. I'll see you in action, solving problems with that fierce intelligence I know you have. Maybe you're the one who figures out how to fix a jammed snowmobile engine, or maybe I'm the one who pulls you up when you slip on a patch of ice. Either way, we're in it together, and that's what makes it epic. To every woman listening, think about the storms in your own life. Maybe they're not made of ice and wind, but they're just as real career setbacks, personal doubts, moments when the world feels too heavy. Antarctica is my way of saying you can face those storms, you're tougher than you know, and with the right partner, you're unstoppable. I want a woman who'll stand with me in the cold, who'll laugh when the wind tries to knock us over, who'll look at a glacier and see beauty instead of danger. Because that's what love is. It's not about avoiding the hard stuff. It's about diving into it together, knowing you'll come out stronger. This journey will teach us things no classroom ever could. We'll learn how to communicate without words, how to read each other's glances when the wind's too loud to talk. We'll learn patience when the weather traps us in a tent for days, and resilience when our plans go sideways. Maybe we miss a supply drop, or maybe our GPS glitches in a whiteout. Those are the moments that'll define us. We'll argue, sure, maybe I'm too stubborn about sticking to the plan, or you're pissed because I forgot to pack the extra batteries. But we'll figure it out. We'll laugh about it later, maybe over a cup of hot cocoa in a cramped research station, and those fights will become stories, the kind that make us closer. Antarctica will also remind us to stay humble. This place doesn't care who I am, billionaire, inventor, whatever. The ice doesn't bow to anyone. It'll teach us to respect the world, to listen to it. We'll see how fragile our planet is, how the melting glaciers are, a warning we can't ignore. I want us to be part of the solution, maybe by supporting research that could save ecosystems or by designing tech to monitor ice loss. To the women out there, this is your power. You can change the world, not just by dreaming big, but by showing up, by caring, by doing the hard work alongside someone who believes in you. I believe in you. I want you to believe in yourself. And let's not forget the beauty. Antarctica isn't just harsh, it's breathtaking. Imagine us standing on a cliff overlooking the Weddell Sea, the ice stretching out like a frozen ocean, the silence so deep it feels sacred. We'll watch seals dive into the water, their splashes echoing like music. We'll see sunsets that last for hours, painting the snow in shades of pink and gold. Those moments will be ours, moments no one can take away. We'll carry them back to the world, not as photos for social media, but as memories that light us up when life gets heavy. I want you to feel that, to know that you're part of something bigger, something eternal. So, to the woman who will be my partner, Antarctica is where we'll prove that our love can withstand anything. It's where we'll build trust, grit, and a connection that no storm can break. This is my promise. We'll face the cold together, and we'll come out warmer for it. From Mars to the ice, we're just getting started. The world is waiting, and I want you by my side, ready to conquer it, one frozen step at a time. We've stood on the red sands of Mars, feeling the thrill of a world beyond our own, and we've battled the icy winds of Antarctica, forging a bond tougher than the glaciers. Now, let's plunge into the heart of Earth's wildest pulse, the Amazon rainforest. This isn't a place for the faint of heart. It's a sprawling, untamed jungle where the air hums with life, where every leaf hides a secret, and every step pulls you deeper into the unknown. Are you ready to get lost with me in a place so alive it feels like it's breathing, to wander through a maze of green where we don't just discover the world, but uncover who we are together? This is the Amazon, and it's where we'll find the raw, beating heart of our adventure. The Amazon isn't just a forest, it's a living, chaotic symphony. It stretches over 2.7 million square miles, home to millions of species, from jaguars prowling in the shadows to piranhas darting through murky rivers. It's a place that demands respect, where nature doesn't care about your plans or your ego. I want us to dive into this wilderness, not as tourists snapping selfies, but as explorers ready to be humbled, ready to learn. To every woman listening, you have that wildness in you, that spark that thrives in the face of the unknown. You don't need to be an expert botanist or survivalist to step into this jungle. You just need curiosity, courage, and a partner who sees the fire in your eyes. That's who I'm looking for, a woman who'll grab my hand and say, let's see what's out there. Why the Amazon? Because it's the opposite of everything I've built. My world is steel, circuits, rockets, things I can control, things I can engineer. The Amazon laughs at control. It's messy, unpredictable, alive in a way that no machine could ever be. I want us to feel that aliveness, to let it seep into our bones. Imagine us hacking through vines with a machete, sweat dripping down our faces, the air thick with the scent of earth and rain. Maybe we're canoeing down a tributary, the water so dark it's like paddling through a mirror, with howler monkeys screaming in the canopy above. Every sound, every movement reminds us that we're part of something bigger, something ancient. This is where we'll learn to let go of plans and embrace the chaos together. This journey isn't just about surviving the jungle, it's about thriving in it. I see us setting up camp under a canopy so dense it blocks out the stars, cooking over a fire we built ourselves, listening to the rainforest's nighttime chorus of frogs and insects. Maybe we're working with local scientists, tracking endangered species, or studying plants that could hold the key to new medicines. I've always believed in solving big problems, and the Amazon is ground zero for one of humanity's biggest, protecting our planet. We'll be part of that fight, not just for show, but because it matters. To the women out there, this is your power. You can be part of something that changes the world, not by sitting back, but by diving in, by caring deeply, by standing shoulder to shoulder with someone who believes in your strength. Let's get specific. Picture us waking up at dawn, the jungle already buzzing with life. We're not staying in some fancy eco lodge. We're in a tent, maybe one we designed to be lightweight and sustainable, like something I'd build for a Mars mission. We're trekking 15 miles through the undergrowth, following a guide from an indigenous community who knows this land like it's part of them. They teach us how to spot the tracks of a tapir, how to listen for the call of a macaw, how to move without disturbing the balance of this place. You're the one who notices a rare orchid hidden in the roots of a tree, and I'm the one who gets too excited and almost steps on a snake. We'll laugh about it later, maybe over a meal of fish we caught ourselves, roasted over coals, shared with our guides under a sky that feels alive. To every woman listening, think about the jungles in your own life. Maybe they're not made of vines and rivers, but they're just as wild new career paths, personal challenges, moments when you feel lost and overwhelmed. The Amazon is my way of saying you can navigate those jungles. You're stronger than you know, and with the right partner, you'll find your way through. Um, I want a woman who'll wade into the unknown with me, who'll get muddy and tired and still smile because we're in it together. Love isn't about staying clean and comfortable. It's about diving into the mess and coming out stronger. This adventure will teach us things we can't learn anywhere else. We'll learn to trust each other's instincts. When you say, that branch looks shaky, I'll listen. And when I say, let's try this path, you'll trust me. We'll learn patience when the rain traps us in our tent for hours, and resilience when a sudden storm floods our camp. Maybe we lose our way for a bit, and you're the one who spots the river that leads us back. Maybe I'm the one who keeps us calm when a jaguar's roar echoes too close. Those moments, when we're tested, are when we'll see each other's true selves, not the polished versions, but the raw, real ones. That's when love grows deep, like the roots of an Amazonian tree. The Amazon will also remind us to stay curious. Every leaf, every creature has a story. Maybe we stumble across a plant that locals use to heal wounds, and it sparks an idea for a new biotech project. Maybe we meet an indigenous elder who shares a story about the stars, and it changes how we see the universe. To the women out there, curiosity is your superpower. It's what makes you ask questions, seek answers, refuse to settle for the ordinary. I want a woman who will stop to examine a beetle crawling across a log, who will listen to the jungle and hear its secrets, who will look at me and say, what else can we learn? Because that's how we grow, not just as individuals, but as a team. And let's talk about the beauty. The Amazon isn't just intense, it's breathtaking. Imagine us standing on a riverbank at sunset, the water glowing orange, a flock of parrots exploding into the sky like a living rainbow. Or picture us climbing a tree platform 100 feet above the forest floor, looking out over a sea of green that stretches to the horizon. Those moments will be ours, etched into our hearts, not for likes or followers, but for us. We'll carry them when life gets tough, when the world feels heavy, and they'll remind us why we keep going. I want you to feel that, to know that you're part of something wild and eternal, something that no one can take away. So, to the woman who'll be my partner, the Amazon is where we'll discover what we're made of. It's where we'll get lost, get found, and build a love as fierce as the jungle itself. This is my promise. We'll face the wild together, and we'll come out stronger, closer, more alive. From Mars to Antarctica to the Amazon, we're writing a story that's bigger than us, a story that'll echo through time. The world is waiting, and I need you by my side, ready to dive into the green heart of it all. We've stood on the rust-red plains of Mars, battled the icy storms of Antarctica, and plunged into the wild pulse of the Amazon. Now, let's leap into the future, into a city that's both a time machine and a dreamscape Tokyo. This isn't just a city, it's a collision of what's possible, where skyscrapers hum with AI, bullet trains slice through the air at 200 miles an hour, and ancient temples stand quiet amid the chaos. Are you ready to wander with me through neon-lit streets and silent shrines, to chase curiosity in a place where the future and the past dance together? Tokyo is where we'll keep our love alive, where every corner sparks a new question, a new adventure, a new us. To every woman listening, this is your invitation to stay curious, to stay bold, to build a life that's as vibrant as the city. Tokyo is a paradox, and that's why I love it. It's a place where you can sip matcha in a 400-year-old garden one moment and debug code for a self-driving car the next. It's where tradition meets innovation, where the relentless march of progress doesn't erase the past but amplifies it. I want us to dive into that energy, to let it fuel our own drive to explore. Picture us weaving through Shibuya's famous crossing, a sea of people moving like a living algorithm, yet somehow we're the only two who matter. Or imagine us in a quiet temple at dawn, the air heavy with incense, as we watch monks chant prayers that have echoed for centuries. This is where we'll learn to balance the rush of the new with the wisdom of the old, and it's where our love will grow deeper because of it. Why Tokyo? Because it's a mirror of who I am and who I want us to be. My life's work, SpaceX, Tesla, Neuralink, is about pushing the boundaries of what's possible, about building a future that's better than today. But I know that progress without soul is empty. Tokyo gets that. It's a city that invents tomorrow while honoring yesterday. I want us to walk its streets, not as tourists chasing landmarks, but as explorers chasing ideas. Maybe we're visiting a robotics lab where engineers are building machines that think like humans, or maybe we're sitting in a tiny ramen shop, slurping noodles and laughing about how we got lost in Shinjuku's maze of alleys. Every moment here is a chance to ask, what's next? Not just for the world, but for us. To every woman out there, you don't need to be a tech genius or a history buff to thrive in a place like Tokyo. You just need to be curious, to look at the world with fresh eyes and say, I want to understand this. That's the kind of woman I want by my side, someone who'll geek out with me over a new AI breakthrough and then pull me into a tea ceremony because it's beautiful. In Tokyo, we'll feed that curiosity together. Maybe you're the one who spots a hidden art gallery in Harajuku, its walls covered in murals that mix manga with ancient calligraphy. Maybe I'm the one who drags you to a rooftop bar 50 stories up, where we can see the city's lights stretch out like a galaxy. Either way, we're not just seeing Tokyo, we're living it, letting it shape us, letting it spark new dreams. Let's paint the picture. We're staying in a sleek, minimalist apartment in Roppongi, designed with smart glass that shifts opacity with a voice command tech I'd probably try to reverse engineer in my spare time. By day, we're diving into Tokyo's cutting-edge world, touring a lab where they're developing quantum computers, or test driving a prototype electric vehicle that makes my Teslas look like toys. By night, we're exploring the city's soul, wandering through Asakusa's lantern-lit streets, where vendors sell rice crackers and paper fans, or sitting in a sake bar, debating whether we prefer the crisp junmai or the cloudy nigori. Every experience is a thread in the tapestry of our story. weaving together the thrill of innovation with the warmth of tradition. This adventure isn't about checking off tourist sites, it's about letting Tokyo's energy ignite us. Maybe we stumble into a festival where taiko drums pound so hard they rattle your chest, and you convince me to join the crowd, dancing under paper lanterns. Maybe I get us invited to a closed door meeting with AI pioneers, and you're the one who asks the question that stumps them all. To the women listening, this is your strength. You can hold your own in any room, whether it's a boardroom or a street market. You can be bold, curious, unafraid to stand out. I want a woman who'll challenge me, who'll push me to see the world differently, who'll make me better just by being herself. Tokyo will teach us to stay nimble. The city moves fast, trains leave on the dot, trends shift overnight, and you've got to keep up or get left behind. We'll learn to adapt, to pivot when plans go awry. Maybe we miss a train to Kyoto and end up in a tiny suburb with a hole in the wall sushi joint that serves the best toro we've ever tasted. Maybe we get caught in a sudden rainstorm in Ginza, and instead of cursing the weather, we duck into a jazz club, sharing a whiskey while a saxophone wails. Those unplanned moments, those detours, are where we'll find our best stories. They're where we'll learn to laugh at the chaos, to lean on each other, to turn mishaps into magic. And let's talk about the deeper lessons. Tokyo is a city of contrasts, and it'll show us how to balance our own. I'm a guy who's always chasing the next big thing, faster rockets, smarter AI, but I know that life isn't just about speed. It's about pausing to notice the small things, the way cherry blossoms fall like pink snow in Ueno Park, or the quiet pride of a craftsman shaping a bamboo fan. I want us to learn that balance together, to be relentless in our ambitions, but grounded in the moments that make us human. To the women out there, this is your gift. You can be fierce and gentle, bold and reflective, a dreamer who still knows how to feel the world's heartbeat. I want a woman who will remind me to slow down when I'm going a million miles an hour, who will stand with me in a temple and whisper, "This is enough." The beauty of Tokyo isn't just in its skyline or its history, it's in its energy. Imagine us on a rooftop in Odaiba, the Rainbow Bridge glowing in the distance as we talk about our dreams for the future. Maybe you want to start a company that rivals Neuralink, or maybe you want to write a book about the places we've been. I'll listen not just to respond, but to understand because your dreams matter as much as mine. Or picture us in a karaoke bar in Akihabara, belting out a terrible rendition of a J-pop song, laughing so hard we can't breathe. Those moments, silly, profound, electric, are what will keep our love alive. They're what will make us unstoppable. So, to the woman who'll be my partner, Tokyo is where we'll keep our curiosity burning, where we'll build a love that's as dynamic as this city. This is my promise. We'll chase the future without losing sight of the present, and we'll make every moment count. From Mars to Antarctica to the Amazon and now to Tokyo, we're crafting a story that's ours alone. The world is waiting, and I need you by my side, ready to light up the neon nights and the quiet mornings with me. We've stood on the alien sands of Mars, battled the frozen storms of Antarctica, plunged into the wild heart of the Amazon, and danced through the neon pulse of Tokyo. Each place has shaped us, pushed us, made us stronger. But now, let's strip it all down to something simpler, something quieter, something that feels like the soul of adventure itself. The nameless towns, those dots on the map that don't make the guidebooks, the places where the streets have no signs, and the stories are written in the lives of the people who live there. Are you ready to wander with me down a dirt road in the middle of nowhere? To find magic in the ordinary? To build a love that's bigger than any destination? Because this, my future wife, is where we'll discover that the real journey isn't the world we see, it's the bond we forge, the love we carry, the life we create together. These towns aren't famous, they don't have skyscrapers or tourist traps. They're the kind of places you find by accident, maybe 200 miles off a highway, where the gas station doubles as the post office and the diner serves pie that tastes like someone's grandmother made it. But don't let their simplicity fool you. These are the places where life happens, where people laugh and cry and dream, just like we do. I want us to walk into these towns hand in hand, not as billionaires or explorers, but as two people hungry for connection, ready to listen, ready to learn. To every woman listening, you don't need a big stage to shine. Your strength, your curiosity, your heart, they light up the smallest corners of the world. I want a woman who'll sit with me on a creaky porch in a town nobody knows, sharing stories with strangers, finding beauty in the everyday. Why these nameless towns? Because they're the antidote to everything I've built. My world is rockets, algorithms, grand plans to colonize planets. But I know that life's deepest moments aren't always the loud ones. They're the quiet ones, the moments when you're sitting in a diner at dusk, the jukebox playing some old country song, and you look at each other and know you're exactly where you're meant to be. I want us to find those moments, to collect them like treasures. Maybe we're driving a beat up rental car through the Midwest, stopping at a town with a single stoplight because we saw a sign for homemade ice cream. Maybe we're in a desert hamlet, 50 miles from nowhere, watching kids kick a soccer ball in the dust while the sun sets behind a mountain. These places don't have names you'll find on a map, but they'll have a place in our hearts forever. This adventure is about creating our own traditions, the kind that belong to no one but us. Maybe we decide that every time we find a new town, we'll carve our initials into a tree or leave a handwritten note in a local cafe, a little piece of us for someone else to find. Maybe we make a pact to try the weirdest dish on every menu, pickled okra in Oklahoma, fry bread in New Mexico, or some mystery stew in a roadside shack. To the women out there, this is your power. You can make the ordinary extraordinary, turn a fleeting moment into a memory that lasts a lifetime. I want a woman who will see a rusty swing set in a forgotten park and say, let's swing until the stars come out, because that's what love is. It's finding the magic in the mundane together. Picture this. We're in a town so small, it doesn't even have a name, just a faded sign that says, population 312. We're staying in a little bed and breakfast run by a couple who've been married for 50 years, their walls covered in photos of grandkids and old tractors. We spend our days wandering, talking to locals at a general store, hearing stories about floods that reshaped the river or the time a meteor lit up the sky. By night, we're sitting on a hill, a blanket spread out under us, watching fireflies blink like tiny satellites. Maybe I'm telling you about my latest crazy idea, a hyperloop that could connect these tiny towns to the world. Or maybe you're telling me about a dream you've never shared with anyone else. Those conversations, those quiet nights, are where we'll build our love brick by brick, moment by moment. This journey will teach us to slow down, to listen, to be present. In a world that's always rushing emails, deadlines, notifications, these towns are a rebellion. They remind us that life isn't about how fast you go, but how deeply you feel. Maybe we get stuck in a town for a day because our car breaks down, and instead of cursing, we spend the afternoon helping a farmer fix a fence, learning how to hammer nails like we're kids again. Maybe you teach me to dance in a bar where the floor's sticky and the music's too loud, and I'm terrible at it, but we're laughing so hard we don't care. To the women listening, you have that joy inside you, that ability to make any moment sparkle. I want a woman who'll pull me into the dance, who'll make me forget the world for a while, who'll remind me that love is the ultimate adventure. These towns will also show us how to be resilient. Things go wrong in places like this. No GPS signal, no five-star hotels, no quick fixes. Maybe we get lost on a back road, our phone's dead, and we have to navigate by the stars. Maybe we run out of gas 10 miles from the nearest station, and you're the one who flags down a trucker with a grin and a story. Those moments when we're forced to improvise are when we'll see each other's true colors. I'll see your resourcefulness, your calm under pressure. You'll see my stubborn determination, maybe my bad habit of overthinking the problem instead of just acting. We'll bicker. Sure, maybe I'm too proud to admit I took the wrong turn, but we'll figure it out, and those fights will become the stories we tell, the ones that make us laugh years later. And let's talk about the people. In these towns, everyone has a story. The waitress who's worked the same counter for 30 years, the mechanic who builds model planes in his garage, the kid who dreams of leaving but loves her town too much to go. I want us to listen to them, to learn from them, to carry their wisdom with us. Maybe we help a local school start a science club, inspiring kids to dream about Mars the way I do. Maybe you teach a group of teenagers how to code, showing them they can build their own future. To the women out there, your voice matters. You can inspire, uplift, change lives in the smallest places. I want a woman who'll sit with a stranger and listen, who'll share her own story and make someone else feel seen, who'll leave every place a little better than we found it. The beauty of these towns is in their simplicity. Imagine us watching a sunset from a grain silo, the sky burning red over fields that stretch for miles. Or picture us at a county fair, eating cotton candy and cheering for a tractor pull, feeling like we're part of something timeless. These moments aren't flashy, but they're real. They're the moments we'll carry when life gets complicated, when the world feels too big or too heavy. They'll remind us that home isn't a place, it's us, together, no matter where we are. I want you to feel that, to know that you're my anchor, my co-pilot, my reason to keep going. So, to the woman who'll be my partner, these nameless towns are where we'll write the heart of our story. This is my promise. We'll find adventure in the quietest places, build traditions that outlast time, and create a love that's stronger than any rocket I've ever built. From Mars to Antarctica, the Amazon to Tokyo, and now to these forgotten corners, we're crafting a legacy that's ours alone. The world is waiting, and I need you by my side, ready to make the ordinary extraordinary, one small town at a time.